What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that day the Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn the notification bell on if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. I apologize for a bit of a later upload today, but I didn't want to make a video that just talked about J.K. Dobbins because I just didn't feel like it would be upbeat enough. It's just like I don't know. It's just something that really sucks. If you didn't know, J.K. Dobbins tore his ACL. He's going to miss the entire season. And if you're curious, how I think that will affect, the 53-man roster, Joshua and I are recording our 53-man roster prediction tonight. It will be up tomorrow. And the deadline for the Ravens to make the 53-man roster is by the 31st. So I think that's Tuesday. So overall, that's when that information is going to come out. But let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on maybe the Ravens going after a free agent running back, a veteran running back to pair into the core. But I'm going to talk about a lot of the guys. There's some guys I like. There's some guys I don't like. And I'm going to give my thoughts completely on it. So let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. It's completely okay to agree and disagree. But the first thing that I will say, if the Ravens bring in a free agent running back, that doesn't mean they're bringing them in to be the running back one. It doesn't even mean that they're bringing them in to be the running back two. And as it stands right now, my assumption is that Tyson Williams is that running back two behind Gus Edwards. And then Justice Hill is that three. Possibly Nate McCrary makes the team. I don't really know. I'm kind of doubting it at this point. But, overall, when I say names like Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, and things like that, that doesn't mean like, oh yeah, they're just going to be our workhorse back and just overtake us. No, Gus Edwards is the one. And then if the other player is able to play very well, then they're going to be able to be, running back two possibly, but I would expect them to be running back three. So I have a list here. And then I'm going to be going over this comes from at Mike AS Jr. and on Twitter. This is where I saw it. It was like a screenshot of something. I don't really know exactly where he got it, but from what I know, these guys are all still free agents. And I figured, why don't I go over the list and talk about a little bit of analysis and whether or not I like these players. So the first two I don't want to talk a ton about because I've talked about them a lot, is Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley. These guys are definitely the highest or the biggest names on here that can still possibly be like a major contributor. However, at the same time, both of them have kind of some major concerns. Todd Gurley, the concern is ever since, that Rams Super Bowl year, even mid-year that year, his knees have just not been it. Something about Georgia running backs and their knees, him and Sony Michel, just their knees just can't hold up. And so that's something that's very worrying is that they may not even be able to play very much. And so for him, I'm kind of out on Todd Gurley just because the Ravens have definitely expressed concern with his health and things like that. That's why they haven't signed him. The other one is Le'Veon Bell. I love Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell is one of the most underrated, running backs in the league. However, he's not a major locker room benefit or anything like that. He's a bit of a troublemaker and so I'm just like, yeah, he'd be good, but he really wouldn't want to be that third running back. And so that could cause problems for the Ravens. So I'm kind of out on him. But there are some really decent players that, I think are a possibility. And one of my favorites is actually the running back three on this list, which is Duke Johnson, who I brought up in a recent live stream, which was a ton of fun. Shout out to everybody that came to our, live stream before and after the game yesterday. But Duke Johnson, he's a guy that could actually be a player that the Ravens target because he is a pure pass catching running back. He is not somebody that would come out and run the ball on 1st and 10. He comes in 3rd and 12 because he can catch and run routes out of the backfield. And I think that's something that the Ravens can definitely use. We think of Justice Hill as that type of player. However, Justice Hill isn't that good at it. I'm sorry. I still think Justice Hill will make the team and things like that. But one, Justice Hill's injured. And two, it's just very difficult for him to be on the field when he does struggle in a lot of aspects of the game. But Duke Johnson is a proven pass catching running back, did it for plenty of years in Cleveland, did it relatively well in Houston. He was part of some good running back groups that he was able to come in with Deshaun Watson and just catch passes on 3rd down. And that's something that the Ravens actually could utilize. Tyson Williams and Gus Edwards. I know Gus Edwards is an underrated pass catcher. However, he's not a a like pass catching running back. He can catch. Tyson Williams can catch, but that's not their strength. Their strength is running guys over and hitting the hole, okay, and falling forward. Duke Johnson could be an interesting player to add to that mix and see like, hey, wow, can these guys really do something? And I wouldn't be mad at him. He would be a relatively cheap option. The Ravens could bring him in. I'm not too, angry if the Ravens do that. The next guy is Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson, one of the greatest running backs of all time, needs no introduction. He's very old. However, he's still been productive in his old age. It's just, do the Ravens really want a guy like Adrian Peterson where what does he do? Oh, he runs it up the middle. That would be every running back that we have kind of does pretty much the same thing, and he would be the third best running back on the team as it stands right now if he was doing that. So I wouldn't love Adrian Peterson. I know it would be very cool to have him. He has had major leg injuries and has come back and had one of the greatest seasons ever, rushing for 2,000 yards, second most yards in a single season. He missed out on the record by about 6 yards. That type of thing, to have that in the locker room, with J.K. Dobbins, trying to recover, and then just young guys like Gus and, Tyson Williams being able to have that locker room guy. It's not that far of a stretch, but at the same time, he's just really old. And, do we really want him taking away snaps because he doesn't bring something new to the table is I'm a bit concerned with trying to do that. Couple more guys, Chris Thompson. I don't know. I don't know if I really like any of the guys on the rest of this list. And I don't know how updated this list is because Devonta Freeman's on this list. And Devonta Freeman is on the New Orleans Saints right now. He may have been cut. I don't really know. He's the third running back behind Murray and obviously Alvin Kamara. So, whether or not he makes that team, not 100% sure. But like other guys on the list, like LaShawn McCoy, Alfred Morris, Devonta Freeman, Dion Lewis, and Chris Thompson. I'm not major fans of any of them. I think really the only one that I would really like would be Duke Johnson, just because he brings like a really different element to the Ravens, and he would actually bring something of value that none of the other running backs really are able to bring at that level. So there are guys, I know a lot of people really want it. However, I'm okay with not signing a veteran running back. I'm not expecting the Ravens to sign a veteran running back. However, if they were to, I think Duke Johnson is that guy, and I think he would actually be a pretty viable addition. But that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to come back tomorrow because we're going to have our 53-man roster prediction and things like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for Daily Ravens content, and I will see all of you again tomorrow.